What's going on, everybody? Andre here. Originally, I thought my last video from Saturday would pretty much be the last one discussing Jason's release in Dead by Daylight, as I'm not a Dead by Daylight news channel. I'm sure you don't need me spamming your feed with a video every day discussing the same chapter release. I've seen some images and gameplay out there of Jason and his abilities in the PTB, which is pretty cool. His Mori is a bit over the top, but I like what I'm seeing so far. I was already expecting, if Jason would get in the game, that the base killer we get would be the Jason designed by Greg Nicotero for Jason Universe. Because Jason Universe is collabing with people left and right. He's in Call of Duty, he's in Fortnite. I think it's safe to assume Jason Nicotero here is going to be the main one that is the face of these collabs. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the design, it's just okay. And when this was unveiled originally, I felt a little underwhelmed. I always envisioned Jason, if he was going to have any kind of progression in terms of new movies and stuff, nowadays, that he would look more imposing and huge, kind of like Kane Hodder's Jason. And that brings us to the cosmetics that were shown off to come out with this chapter. I knew that we would be getting original skins, and these two honestly are pretty cool. One is kind of like a rotting zombie with the shovel, pretty nice. And then you got the one where it looks like, instead of like at the bottom of a lake, it's like he's at the bottom of the ocean, like on a reef or something, pretty neat. But then we get this one. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but come on. Come on, man. This Jason right here looks like you just got through seeing Mumford and Sons. Now, I didn't make this video just to comment on the new skins, no. I'm making this to clear up some of the misconceptions out there about this chapter that I've been seeing and what this might mean for future content that's coming in for Jason. First off, I see people saying he's not Jason Voorhees. He's just Jason. Some are being literal, like he's fucking Cher or something, where he doesn't have a last name. Well, this is a page from the press release from Behavior that says right here, Dead by Daylight, in partnership with Jason Universe, is officially welcoming Jason Voorhees into the fog. So there. Or, they mean in the sense that this is not the Jason that fans have known and come to love over the years. That bit I can kind of understand, but just this version of Jason coming into the game can actually mean really good things. This is clearly and obviously a collab with Jason Universe, who now currently owns the rights to all of the previous Friday the 13th films, as well as the likeness and design of all the previous Jasons. Just because we got Greg Voorhees doesn't mean that skins directly modeled after versions of Jason from the films are completely off the table. It might be a good thing that we got Greg Voorhees as our base killer, as this might have been a licensing decision geared at keeping rights to the Jason IP in the game for as long as possible. If the Jason we got from the get-go was directly modeled after like Part 3, for example, it would be a lot more expensive and very difficult to guarantee that it can stay in the game for a long time. We don't know all of the legal stuff that ties these different movie designs of Jason to certain studios, to certain people, who's getting paid for direct references to specific films. We don't know that stuff. That's all insider stuff for Jason Universe to know. I just imagine it's easier to license Jason through the Jason Universe design, kind of like how Ghostface was licensed through Fun World, and we just got DBD X Ghostface instead of the Scream movies, but with a little more wiggle room. Using Greg Voorhees as a base template can open the door later on for these paid license skins that can directly reference the older Friday the 13th films. And if said licensing for these skins expire, it's going to be a matter of buy the skins before they're removed instead of seeing Jason as a killer getting removed from the game altogether. I feel like this is just a preemptive thing to try and avoid a lot of the problems that Friday the 13th, the game, and others that had licensing for it were dealing with, despite all that legal drama being over a few years ago. I completely understand those out there who aren't huge fans of the Jason universe design. I get it. But Jason's look changes from movie to movie every time. So using Greg Jason here isn't much of a shock to me, and him being in the game to begin with is a good thing, and we should be expecting more. This is probably just the tip of the iceberg, as Jason Universe is reportedly very chill to work with. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. And this is probably going to be the last video talking about this chapter release. We're done with the Jason chapter release. I'm going to get back to the usual indie horror game content I make as speculation season is over, and when the chapter does eventually release, of course, we will be trying it out. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. See you later. That wraps it up for this one. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe!